Welcome to Valhalla Sports Talks, the SKOL Report. Valhalla here, y'all, and this is going to be the final look at Week 3 in the National Football League. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I did not do a Vikings post-game video this week for the hundreds that watch them. But listen, y'all, this was a tough week for the Minnesota Vikings. They fall to 0-3 after that game against the Chargers. And as many times as I tried to do the recap video, I don't know, it's hard to feed anger on top of anger, y'all. So I decided it wasn't a good look for the channel to do something that negative. I'm not of that persuasion that likes to chicken little it just to get views. So I didn't do the post-game show, but this is the final look at Week 3 around the NFL. I'll touch on the Vikings game as well. But I appreciate y'all for joining us. And without further ado, let's get into the information for Week 3. All right, so Week 3 schedule, y'all. Let's get into that first. So it all started out way back last Thursday. The Giants traveled to San Francisco to take on the Niners. The Niners get the victory in that one. 30-12 is the final. The Giants just unable to get anything really going. They obviously really miss Saquon there. But yeah, the Niners improve that record to 3-0, and they win it 30-12. The next game, it was the early morning game on Sunday. The Colts travel to Baltimore, and the Colts and Garner Minshew held on in overtime, got a victory. 22-19 was the final in that one, but an exciting matchup nonetheless. Then you had the Titans go to Cleveland. Cleveland, who I picked in my prediction video to win that game, dominated this one. They dominate Tennessee 27-3. That Cleveland defense is proving to be a story here in 2023. So look for that Cleveland defense to take them as far as they can. The next game there, we had Atlanta go to Detroit. Bijan Robinson, who I thought would actually go wild against these Detroit Lions, did not. He was actually outrushed by the Lions rookie Jahmyr Gibbs, and the Lions get the 20-6 victory in that one. The next game, the Saints go to Green Bay to take on the Packers. They jump out to a 17-0 lead. The Packers do nothing until the fourth quarter, and then Jordan Love and company come storming back for like their biggest comeback in franchise history in the fourth quarter. The next game, the Texans take on the Jaguars, another game I totally missed. A dominating performance. C.J. Stroud has made his appearance in the NFL. I said last week that he had not. Well, he is now. They won it 37-17. The next game, this one here, y'all, I didn't see much of it, and it sounds like I didn't miss much of it either, but the Broncos go on the road to Miami, and Miami lays 70 points on them. 70-20 is your final. There's some talk around the NFL, did they pile on too much? I don't know, y'all. The whole thing in the NFL, you just got to stop them. Stop that offense in front of you, and the Broncos did not do it. 70 points. Then we got that game that I have a hard time even thinking about, much less talking about, but the Chargers go to US Bank Stadium. They try to gift a victory to the Minnesota Vikings in those final few minutes. And it's the same thing that's got the Vikes in their first 3 games, 3 very winnable games, I might add. But yep, they try to give the Vikings a ball. They go for it on fourth down deep in their own end. They don't get it. The Vikings take over. And then just absolute confusion, stupidity. I'm just getting angry just even talking about it. But the Chargers get the victory in that one, 28-24, as Minnesota fails to score in the final minute there. Next game, we had the Patriots go to New York to take on the Jets. The Patriots, in typical Patriot fashion, they win a game um, that's very close. Obviously, they like those games where it's really close, low scoring, but they get the victory 15-10, and the knives are out in New York for Wilson, the quarterback of the Jets. Buffalo travels to the Commanders, right? The Bills go to the Commanders and they dominate it. Josh Allen and company put up 37 points on that Washington defense, and they get the victory. In their Washington's offense, were they even at the game? Then Carolina, ain't nothing finer than Carolina. They go on the road to Seattle. Seattle, one of the toughest places to play in the NFL, on the road there, and they get the victory. The Seahawks do 37-27. Here was the shocker of the week. Shocker of the week. Dallas goes to Arizona up north of me here, and they take on the Cardinals, and the Cardinals jumped on them early and often, and the Cowboys just could never come back from it all. It ended up being 28-16, and questions are out there now. What Cowboy team is going to show up this week? Do they have one of the best defenses in the league? They sure didn't show it last week. But the Cards, 28-16 was your final. The Bears go on the road to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody's done a video except for me about it, but Taylor Swift, T Swizzy in the house, and she watches them Chiefs get that 41-10 victory over the Bears, who are reeling like the Vikings here in this 2023 season. Then we get to the night games. That first game the Sunday night football game. The Steelers travel to Las Vegas. They take on the Raiders, and they get the victory 23-18. It looked like a home game for the Steelers. There were so many Steeler fans in the stands at the big Rumba in Vegas, but 23-18 Steelers with the victory. Then the first of our two Monday night games, the Eagles travel to Tampa Bay to take on them Buccaneers, and the Eagles make pretty easy work out of them, get a 25-11 victory. And then the last game, the one that we streamed here on Valhalla Sports Talk, you had the Rams taking on the Bengals. Joe Burrow was questionable going into this game. There were lots of talk the day prior that he was not going to play. They even elevated a practice squad quarterback. But the Bengals get the 19-16 victory, and they handle their business. Okay? So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to take a look at the National Football League standings here as we go into Week 4. In the National Football Conference, in the NFC East, the Eagles are on top at 3-0. Cowboys and Commanders 2-1, and the Giants 1-2. In the NFC South, the Falcons, Saints, and Bucks are all at 2-1. You got the Panthers at 0-3 with the Vikings and the Bears. In the NFC North, you got a tie at the top. Packers, Lions at 2-1. We will be doing a Packer-Lions stream this Thursday night for Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. I'd like to invite you all right here to come and join us for that. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. They're not putting me up in the search rankings. I'm on restriction or in the doghouse, but hopefully we start seeing some improvement there. But I'm going to just keep grinding. I'll be on Thursday night for Thursday Night Football. Then you got the Vikes and the Bears tied at 0-3 in that division. NFC West, the 49ers continue their dominance, 3-0 on the season. Then you got the Seahawks at 2-1. The Rams and Cardinals are at 1-2. In the American Football Conference, you got the Miami Dolphins sitting at 3-0, Bills 2-1, Patriots and Jets at 1-2. AFC South, the Colts sitting in that top spot at 2-1. The Texans, Jaguars, and Tennessee all have one win and are 1-2. In the AFC North, the Steelers, Ravens, Browns all tied atop the division at 2-1, with the Bengals at 1-2. In the AFC West, the Chiefs 2-1, 2 wins in a row now after that shocking Week 1 loss, but 2-1 on the season. They've got the the Swift Nation behind them now, and they're 2-1. The Raiders and Chargers sitting at 1-2, and then the Broncos are at 0-3. Now we're going to transition into this week's power rankings according to ProFootballTalk.com. All right, there you go. There are the power rankings. It looks like the biggest mover of the week was the Colts, who are at plus 10 to move into the 14th spot. And who has dropped the most? The Jets have dropped 18 spots and currently sit in 27th, just in front of my Minnesota Vikings. 49ers at the top, Bears at the bottom. Bears at the bottom on this one. But the Vikings, just to recap, 28-24 is the final. They lose. They got to try to turn something on, y'all. I mean, I see a lot of talk on here about tanking. That is not in my DNA. But yeah, we're going to go in. This is I'll have the video out later in the week for my predictions for this week. We'll also do a game preview for Vikings Panthers on the channel. And we'll be doing live streams for all of the primetime games this week again, both Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, as well as the Vikings-Panther game on Sunday morning. So I invite you to join us here on the channel for all of those. But until then, we'll see you in the next one. I want to invite you also to hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. If you want me to keep doing these videos, give the video a like and turn on those bell notifications. Until then, everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. Valhalla Sports Talk. Peace.